All right. Welcome. Oh, it's playing again. Yeah. I don't even know where that came from. Welcome. All right. Welcome. Oh my Lord, playing again. Yeah. I don't even know where that came from. Welcome. All right. There we go. Welcome to the Kendrick Shope. All right, I have no idea. It says I'm on here twice now. Lovely. All right, well, welcome to the Kendrick Shope Show, and we're just going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it right here because it says that I have two people on here. Jenny Shih is joining us. Jenny Shih, hello, welcome. I'm moving you right now so that we can commiserate with you. There we go. All right, forgive the technical difficulties. As I mentioned, I am the producer and the talent and the all the above. And actually, this was not my fault. Zoom just quit on us. So I'm sorry, but welcome to the Kendrick Shope Show. It is Freebie Friday. Say it with me, Freebie Friday. You got to stick around. You want to write this Twitter handle down right now at Kendrick Shope, because that is what you are going to need in order to win a copy of Danielle Laporte's latest book, free on the house, courtesy of the Kendrick Shope Show. This book really opened my eyes in 2018, and so it's our first Freebie Friday giveaway. So keep at Kendrick Shope really close on your phones, because I'm going to tell you how to win a copy of that book shortly. Now, you know, it's our warm-up mode. It's our warm-up mode. But before we jump into the epic mom failure of the day, I want to welcome our guest to the show, Jenny Shih. Welcome to the Kendrick Shope Show.
Yay! This is where I get to dance, right? We get to dance it out together.
Yeah. Instead of dancing, since it's stationary, I think I'm just going to start singing. That'll run people off for sure.
We can just seat dance.
Oh yeah, we could seat dance. Maybe we need some music. Are you seat dancing with us? Oh yeah, do a little seat dancing up in here. If I had a producer, we could cue some music, but we don't have a yet. Jenny, thanks so much for joining us from sunny California.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yay!
My pleasure. So one of the reasons that I wanted to have Jenny on the show, other than I think she's amazing, is that a lot of people say to us, we love it when y'all are together. Y'all are like yin and yang, or I mean, but they love us together. And so it's like and she's my business bestie. So on the first week of the Kendrick Shope Show, who better than my personal business ninja, Jenny Shih, to have as our guest. So thanks again for that.
So glad to be here. So glad to talk with you always.
So Jenny, we kicked the show off, and you probably remember this because you were in the planning sessions for the Kendrick Shope Show. But we kicked the show off with an epic mom failure moment of the day. And we've talked this week about how I have difficulty brushing Hallianna's hair, which Jenny has seen firsthand. But we actually had
I don't even understand it. I don't even understand it. I mean, I understand. I've been there and I've witnessed it, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
All you got to do is go on Instagram and take a look at the most recent picture. Did you see it?
Yeah, it's legit. It's a legit problem. I just don't understand it.
It's a legit problem. My hair is as big as the state of Arkansas today. So we don't have hair and makeup here either. So I'm done. One day it's all going to be part of the Kendrick Shope Show. Right. So I was so excited this morning because we had a viewer write in, and she said, I love the epic mom failure moment of the day. That's hard to say. Epic mom epic failure moment of the day. And so I want to commiserate, she used that word, commiserate, with you and tell you mine. So I'm going to read you. Sherry said, Kendrick, thanks so much for doing the epic moment failure of the day for moms. I love it. Anybody knows being a mama is hard ass work. Sherry's words, not mine. So allow me to share my epic mom moment failure of the day. 2 weeks ago, we were out of town visiting friends, and I gave my child ice cream for dinner. That is my epic mom moment failure of the day. No judgment. So first of all, Sherry, thanks for being our first viewer to write in. And second of all, if this is a mom failure moment, then y'all need to arrest me. How many times have I said, oh, we'll just celebrate something and have milk and cookies for dinner, right? Like, now, granted, I'm not the most nutritious person in the world, but Sherry, I think that, sweetheart, you get a pass. I don't really call that an epic mom moment failure of the day, but hey, maybe your kids are used to eating green beans and what's something else green, Jenny?
Broccoli.
There's your epic mom moment failure of the day. Mom doesn't even know other green vegetables. If you want to share your epic mom moment failure of the day, just email it straight into kendrick@kendrickshope.com and we will share yours. The point of this is so that we make fun of the mommy guilt that we all place on ourselves, the judgment, the, oh my God, I can't believe my kid didn't have on underwear. Maybe we need to call it my kid doesn't have on underwear moment of the day. But share with us. Let's commiserate, because mamas, I know that you are busting it out there. Sherry, you are busting it. You want to give your kid ice cream tonight? You got my permission. You want to do milk and cookies? You got my permission, because sometimes that's all we can get done. Thanks for being part of the epic mom moment failure of the day. So we need a segue here. Producer, we need a segue. So Jenny, I've already thanked you for being here, but I just want to jump straight in, because I got a lot to cover with you today. I'm going to dig in deeper than I've ever done before.
Let's do it.
Jenny, for anybody who doesn't know you, tell us what you do in the online space.
I am a business coach for business owners, primarily women, but not exclusively women, who run online service-based virtual businesses. So my clients are anyone who runs a service-based business, so one-to-one, that's coaching, consulting, bookkeeping, nutrition, design, copywriting, private yoga, runs a full gamut. And they can deliver that service one-to-one virtually for their clients. So if you're an in-person makeup artist, you only work on people in person, you're not my target client. But if you teach people and help them, maybe coach them to put makeup on virtually, you would be my woman. And that's what I do. I help them start. I help these folks start and grow successful online businesses. So help them get clients and create consistent income doing work they feel passionate about, so they can support themselves and their families and live their life on their terms. So not chained to a desk or chained to a job, but get to do it in a way that matters to them.
I love it. For those of you who don't know, I am a product of Jenny Shih. I would not be here today had she not coached me through flopping around like a fish out of water with no air, gasping for air. That's how I described my business. How long have you been in this, Jenny?
Well, I started in the online world in 2009 as a career coach and a virtual assistant, but my business, JennyShih.com, has been around since 2011. So what is that?
I think 2011 is when we met, or was it 12?
We met in 2012.
Okay, so there you go. So 5 years ago, that was the state of my business, gasping for air like a fish. Those of y'all who have never been fishing don't know. Animal lovers are like, oh my God, I hate you now. But if you've seen a fish out of water, that's what I looked like until Jenny Shih entered my life. So Jenny, you've been around a long time. Longer than a lot of businesses. Unfortunately, we see a lot of businesses come and go, and even some shoot up with rocket success, right? Mm-hmm. And then just fizzle. Yep. So if you had to put your finger on one thing, one tangible thing that people can start with, and I know it depends on where they are, but what would you say is the most important thing? Or is there one?
Well, that's a great question, because I think you're so right. It depends on where people are. But I guess, this is coming to mind because I just made this comment to somebody in a Facebook group yesterday. they were saying, I posed the question, what's your biggest business challenge right now? And they said, getting past the fear of putting myself out there. And I said, well, which do you want more? Do you want to stay safe and do you want to play small? Or do you want to have a business doing work you love and create, the success you want on your terms? And she said, I definitely want a successful business. And then she said, that's why I just started working with a therapist to help me work through all of my stuff so that I can show up and be the business owner that I want. So I would say, like, very first foundational thing, if you want a successful business, like, really check in. Do you really want it? Because you have to do things that you wouldn't otherwise do. You have to become a person that you weren't before. Like, you have to go through this massive personal transformation in order to have a successful, thriving business. So do you want that? And are you willing to do what it takes to get there? And there's no judgment, and no judgment if you don't want to. Yeah. Like, it's not for everyone. I mean, yeah, it's not for everyone.
It's interesting that you say that, because our guest yesterday actually talked about the same thing. Getting over, Hank Norman from Two Market Media, who we've discussed, actually talked about getting over the fear of putting yourself out there and pressing record or whatever, medium that you're going to use. And he's like, it's a legit deal. I mean, it is a legit roadblock to success. So you've heard two experts, independent of each other, audience, talk about this fear that is paralyzing. And if I could piggyback on that, you can count me in that and say you've heard three. It's legit. It's a real problem. Okay, Jenny. So I'm curious, what frustrates you about the online business world?
Well, it's funny because maybe it's just today, or the fact that we've left Oregon to be in California and it's sunny outside, and I'm fueled on sunshine alone. Like, I could live on sunshine and just itself. But anyway, normally I would say I get so frustrated by all of the people who market that it's so easy and everybody can do it, and all of the people who believe that it is easy and don't want to work hard. But today, actually, that doesn't frustrate me. I sort of like, well, what you going to do, right? But
I get it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, I think it's also changing. I think it's really different from when we first started. I think when I first started and you first started, not that we were at the beginning. I mean, people sort of started in the late, 2005, 6, 7 is sort of really when stuff started to begin. So we were closer to the beginning than now, but I think then there was a lot more hype, but everybody wants the online world, the online business world, to be this miracle pipe dream. And it's amazing. And I don't have any regrets. I have no interest in working for anybody else. I will take all of the challenges and difficulties and stressors that come with running a business. I will take those any day over having to go and work for somebody else on their terms, because that's what's important to me. But a lot of people, I think, still believe that it's easy all the time. It should be, you should put up a website and instantly have clients. And it's hard. Like, it's hard work. And it's so worth it. And so I think I just get frustrated when people think that it should be easier than it is. And it's like, well, if it were easier than it is, then everybody would be doing it. Like, it's actually awesome that it's not easier, because then those of us who really want it get it.
True. And I think that, and these are my words, not yours, obviously, but I think that there are too many people who promise ease. It's one, I make a lot of bold promises, but one of the things I'm really careful not to do is ever say it'll be easy.
Yeah.
Or quick. People want a quick fix. They want a shot in the arm. They want to, and that really depends on a lot of different factors, but part of it is your stamina and how much you want to work. And I had somebody say to me one time, Kendrick, I would love to work with you. I think you're amazing, but I don't want to work as hard as I think you're going to make me. And I was like, great, we're not the right fit then. Because I can't make you work hard, but I was just like, okay, not the right fit. So my hair is big. It's Freebie Friday here on the Kendrick Shope Show, in case you didn't hear that at the top of the hour. And here is how to claim your freebie. If you want a free copy on us, courtesy of the Kendrick Shope Show, tweet at Kendrick Shope. Give me that freebie. Give me that freebie, Kendrick Shope Show. Give me that freebie. We're going to announce the winner. The gift today is a free copy of Danielle Laporte's latest book. So tweet at Kendrick Shope. Give me that freebie, Kendrick Shope Show. And we will announce the winner. Yeah. Give me that freebie, Kendrick Shope Show, and we will we'll announce the winner at the end. So, Jenny, let's talk about. I think that it's you bring up a fair point about how the online world is changing, and what do you think the biggest change that you have seen is?
Mm. Yeah, actually, I think it's a good one. So, sort of to just go off of what we were saying before, that it is harder than most people realize, and it's also busier than most people. That it's a lot busier now. So there's a lot more noise. There's a lot more of everybody. There's a lot more freelancers. There's a lot more coaches. There's a lot more designers. There's a lot more Facebook ads experts. You name it. There's a lot more people. But what is awesome about that is it then forces the bar to go up. So what used to pass, like, and I can think of a couple examples on top of my head, which I won't name out loud, but I can think of a couple examples of programs that sort of began way back in the day. And I'm sorry, they're a bunch of crap, and they're still selling the same crap they sold then. And they made a big name for themselves, and so it's going really well. But those of us who are started later, in order to have a legit successful business and sustain it, so not to be one of those like people who makes $1 million and then disappears, to really have a sustainable business, you have to deliver. People now know they can sniff out. They can sniff out if you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can sniff out if you're sort of not legit, or if you don't really back up your stuff. You might fool a couple people, but not. But what's awesome about that is then it's better for everyone. So it means that the service products and services out there that keep showing up year after year, the business owners who keep running their programs year after year, like you, like me, we keep doing it because we have a legit life-changing service to offer. And people can rely on that trust. So think about the companies that have been around for a really long time, Nordstrom, or maybe what comes to mind, Tiffany's, or something like that. People go and they start to trust these companies. So those of us who are in it for the long haul, we're building that trust. Like, we're legit, and it's better for the customer. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's fantastic.
I agree. My favorite commercial during the Super Bowl this year was a Ford truck commercial. And it said, "We didn't raise the bar, we are the bar." So they're like, "Oh my God, I want to steal it." I mean, fantastic. But I think that, you know, what you talk about, and just side note here, which I'm not, Jenny, you know me well enough, no, I'm not going to do this, but side note here, a good interviewer would push for you to try to get you to say the names of those programs. I'm thinking Howard Stern saying, "Tell me."
You didn't get me to say it. I'm not that kind of person. You can push me all you want. We'll have fun.
I wouldn't do it anyway, but I'm thinking Howard Stern saying, "Oh, come on, you can tell me all the people you slept with. It's just you and me." And no. But anyway, I know that that'll be feedback I get from the media team. You should have pushed her. And I'm gonna be like, "That's not who Kendrick Shope is. I'm sorry."
Yeah, and I'll tell you, media team, she could have pushed me all day long, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know, but it just going off in my head. So, and we are starting to get some tweets. Give me that freebie at Kendrick Shope. Give me that freebie. Woohoo! So, Jenny, I think you're right though about the bar. I think that, and I see this even for people who came after us too. You know, like, the bar has been raised a little bit more, and that can make the whole thing more challenging.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it makes it harder. It forces us to continue to raise our games. I'm always asking myself, how can I do this better? How can I serve more people? How can I get my clients to get better results? It's always, that is always the foundational question. And those people who started the same time we started and haven't asked themselves, how do I do better? They're the ones who their businesses are dropping off. And this is going to be the game. This is a game you sign up for when you want to do your own business. It's not set it and forget it and you're set for life. No, you're working hard. But you do it the way you want to do it. Yeah.
We got those sales school videos back, and Jenny, I haven't even had a chance to tell you this yet, but I got them this week, the sales school videos back for 2018, because we're reshooting them all. And I sent back and I said, we can't use them. None of them.
What's wrong? What happened?
Huge spotlight behind me. It looks like, I don't know. Like, I mean, like, I've got this huge, like, the colors off, and there's this huge spotlight. Yeah. And it was just, I don't know what happened, but and they tried to fix them. I haven't looked at the new ones yet. They said, I think we can correct that with whatever you do in editing.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking, unless we do some drastic changing, like, this is not raising the bar, this is lowering the bar. Yeah. The content's still great. Yeah. But I hate to log in and see this glaring light at me, which, I mean, it gave me a headache the longer I looked at it. So, you know, that's a lot of money and time. I'm not going to pay for it, but it's a lot of time to redo.
Yep.
And I think some people would be like, "Oh, it's good enough," or "Let me just repurpose this from last year," which you and I have seen, or "Let me just cut this and cut this." it's just not good enough anymore. Y'all.
Yeah. Right. And it's so, as a customer, I have real high standards for myself and for my team, and I have high standards for my clients, but I also have high standards as a customer. And, I recently bought somebody who's really smart. I recently bought something from them to learn more about some marketing thing that I wanted to learn. I was just so disappointed on the other side. I was like, really? Like, this is what you're selling. This is what you're telling people is good enough to sell. And I can think of a bunch of examples, people new to the industry, as well as people who've been around a long time. And I don't know. It doesn't match my integrity to be able to put that out into the world. So even if these people can get by with it, I can't handle it, but I got to believe it's going to catch up with them. It's not going to work forever. You deliver crap and people eventually figure it out. And so it just calls on us to be our best self. And that sounds kind of cheesy, but really that is our job, to continuously ask ourselves how we can do better for our customers.
So you referenced, I bought a program, to learn some marketing things. So I think that this is something that people don't realize, and I would love for you to address it. So you're still learning, you still learn.
Gracious, all the time. And it's funny because I used to listen to, back when I was sort of new, I used to listen to people talk about what they were learning right now. And Chalene Johnson is a really great example. She's always she is such an avid learner, and she's always talking about what she's learning. And she it kind of exhausts me to think about how much she's learning. But, we never know enough. There's always something new to learn about marketing. There's always, unless you're happy, unless you achieve a certain level of success and you just sort of learn enough to maintain. But I am wired for growth. And some days I hate that about myself, but I'm wired for growth. And in order to keep growing, I have to keep learning. I can't ever rest on what worked a year ago or what worked 2 years ago and say that is good enough to take me to the next level. Because to go to the next level, you have to learn the next level of information. It's just how it is.
I think it's interesting. If you walked into my office, not my hotel room that I am currently residing in a bit large. So if you walked into my office, and Jenny, you know this, but my bookshelf is set shelves are sales book after sales book after sales book. And I had somebody who did a VIP day with me in Greenville, and she said, "Why do you have all those sales books?" And it was funny because literally I wrote a book on selling.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. You know what I mean? I mean, with the way technology is and the way people try different things. And I mean, there's no one size that fits all. And so I'm like, well, that's because if I'm a learner, it's one of my top 5 strengths. But if I stop learning, I stop growing. And when I start growing, then you all, my customers, really pay the price. So, but I think it's interesting. I also used to think when I was flopping around like a fish out of water, gasping for air, that I would get to a point where I'm like, I know it. I got it covered. And I guess there's this level of maintaining, but it's like, don't fall out of your chair when I say this. It's like when you go to the gym and you plateau. I can't believe I'm in the gym as an analogy, right? You got to do something to wake those muscles back up so that they continue to, that's the analogy.
Well, there's this great podcast. It was one of the ones I texted you, but I know you've been super busy. There's a great podcast that I just listened to the other day. The podcast is called Story Brand, and the interview, I think it's interview number 49 or something, but don't quote me on that number, with a woman named Whitney Johnson, I think. So again, but that'll put you in the ballpark. And she was interviewed about creating disruption in the marketplace. And when I listened to the interview, I didn't really hear it from the angle of disruption, but she talked about this idea of an S curve, and that when you're brand new to something, you're on this super steep learning curve, and you've got to really, really, you've got to learn so much, and it's hard, but it's sort of good hard if you're aligned with the right thing. And then you hit this sweet spot where you know what to do, you just keep doing it, you go forward, it feels you're in the zone, it feels awesome, and everybody loves that, and they think that's where they want to live. But then what happens after you're there for 6 months to 3 years, depending on the person, you get bored. And the industry changes. And so then you either are going to fizzle and die or your performance is going to drop off, or your results are going to drop off, or you have to decide to jump up on the next curve, and you've got to go back into learning mode. You've got to push yourself. You've got to learn new things. You've got to get to that uncomfortable place again to go to that next level. And I think, I remember when I hit that easy stride, it was awesome. And I love when my clients hit that. I had one client say to me on a session not too long ago, she's like, "Jenny, I don't know what to do." And I said, "It's because you made it. This is what you've been working for. Enjoy it. Enjoy this for the next 6 months to 2 years. You hit your stride. You hit your financial goals. You are where you want to be. enjoy it, because at some point you're going to then have to jump up and learn again. And so, yeah, we can't stop. We think we want easy, but we actually start to sabotage when we get there. It's sort of, that blew my mind. I was like, crap, that's so true.
It is. It absolutely is. I completely see that in my business all the time. So we're about 12 minutes away. No, actually, yeah, we're about 10 minutes away from when we're going to announce the winner of the Danielle Laporte book. So tweet at Kendrick Shope. Give me that freebie, Kendrick Shope Show. If you still want to be considered, give me that freebie at Kendrick Shope Show. So Jenny, I'm curious. You've been around a long time. What toll, I've said I'm curious a lot. What toll has starting the business taken on you personally? Has it taken a toll? You've been vocal about some of this. So I would love for you to share that, because most people don't share the hard part.
Yeah, well, that's so, there's so many things. So I quit my corporate job back in 2009, as you know, and I was and still am the primary breadwinner in our household. So quitting my job, it wasn't like I'm going to quit my job to figure out my life and I have a spouse to support me or a trust fund or whatever. It was more like I quit my job and we got to figure out how to make this work, like quick. And, we had saved up, I had saved up some money, and we cut our household budget significantly so that I could go and do this. But the fear for about 2 years was legit. Like, I would say on a daily basis, there was a level of anxiety that was constantly with me. And looking back, I'm surprised I made any progress in my business during those times, because when we get in that state of chronic stress and anxiety, our brains just don't function. And I now know better, because as you know, I've certainly had moments like that, not the same kind of moment. I don't have that same panic anymore, because I really built this business sustainably. But there are moments of stress, and I notice myself in chronic anxiety, and I say, we got to stop that right now, because in order to get through whatever the challenge is causing that anxiety, I can't allow myself to stay in that state of anxiety. So we've got to find a way to sort of get through that. But being in that chronic state of anxiety, I don't know this for sure, but I then got really sick with Lyme disease. So I think I had some latent Lyme disease, probably from when I was a kid. Who knows? I don't ever remember getting bit by a tick or anything like that, but it can happen. And I was really sick for several years in a row. So my health started to decline actually in 2010, but it wasn't until about 2012 that I was seriously not well. I was very tired. I hurt all the time. My head was foggy. There's so many other things that were not going well. And it took about 9 months for me to get, from when I got really serious, so back in 2010, I went to a doctor and she told me it was all in my head. And about 2 years later, more than 2 years later, I was finally sick enough that you, among other people, were like, Jenny, there's really something wrong. And so I went to a different doctor and I pushed for figuring out what was going on. It took about 9 months to realize I had chronic Lyme, as well as a bunch of other things. And then, I was sicker. I got sicker before I got better. And so I was pretty miserable for a couple years. But at the same time, I still had to run my business, because I had a mortgage to pay and dog food to buy. And, that was just the way it was. And so that whole time, so I think starting my business is what really tripped that Lyme disease up. But, who knows? I don't know if that's really what happened. It could have happened some other way as well. But, it's funny because you said, what kind of toll has it taken on you personally? I could say I was sick. It made me really tired. It was really hard on my marriage. It was, this whole business has been really hard on my marriage. But also, I'm grateful for it, because so many, I know, I look at people I know who are just miserable at their jobs, or they feel overwhelmed and stressed out by their life. And things are just hard. And just having this control over my life in a way that I couldn't have if I worked a full-time job, it just that makes everything so much better. The fact that we're in California now, as opposed to living in Oregon, that we come down here for 2 months a year because I want to,
Yeah, so exactly. Yes, so absolutely.
It takes a toll emotionally, physically, on relationships, but it also makes them better. It also makes them better than.
Well, one of the reasons I ask you that question is because you're one of the few people I know that has been willing to share. And I think that we need a balance. You know, we need to hear all the great. I was on Steve Harvey.
Yeah, right.
It was really hard on me physically. It was really hard on my marriage. I don't hear anybody talking about that. Very few people. This was hard on my marriage too. There's still something hard on my marriage. Yeah. You know? The last question about that, and then I want to move into something really
great. I just want to add, you just sparked something I had never thought of before, just the way you phrased it. Because whenever I think about, I have a person that I know that I think about when I contrast my life experience to theirs. They work a traditional job and kids in daycare and all that kind of stuff. And I have no judgment about people who want to work a full-time job. Running your own business is not for everyone. And nor do I think everybody should have one, should want to have one. So just so we're really clear, but I have somebody that comes to mind when I compare and contrast in my own head. And I think part of the reason why it's so hard on marriages and relationships is because you are the victim and the perpetrator. So when you are working a job, you can blame your boss or you can blame your job. And so, a spouse and, the worker bee and the spouse can blame this third party. But when it's you running your own business, you have to then take full responsibility for all of your choices. You are the victim and the perpetrator. And not everybody wants to do that. Like this person I'm thinking of is sort of like, there's a little bit of not enjoying, you know what I mean, playing victim because they don't have to own up to the fact that they have some level of control. It's easy to blame. But when you're your own business owner, it is all on you. It's all on you.
Freaking is. Yeah.
You have to be okay with that. And not everybody's okay with that.
Well, and you and I have talked about before about, I don't know how people start a business like this type of business without some level of life coaching skills. You and I were fortunate. We thought we wanted to be life coaches originally, right? And it gave us the skills to be able to deal with all of the crap that comes up. Part of that being what you talked about, being a victim, and that's a heavy load to realize, actually I'm responsible only for right here where we are. I don't have enough money to pay the bills, and I've spent $20,000 on Facebook ads, which I've done. And then, oh shit, it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. And I'm sick at my stomach and I want to lay on the floor and cry, but I've got to get back up tomorrow and live to fight another day and make that money back. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
So Jenny, one of the things that I love about you is what you have coming down the pipeline in 2018. I have been talking about it for, I think even before the holiday, maybe right after the holiday, we started talking about it. But as I said at the top of the show, I am a result of Jenny Shih's brilliance. I would be back in the ocean dead, that fish out of water analogy, or on the sidewalk dead or
selling pharmaceuticals,
selling drugs, the legal kind. Shopping at Target near my lunch break because I was miserable, but that's another story. Without Jenny's guidance. So I had all this energy that you see now, not near as much confidence, although I faked it pretty well. And Jenny harnessed it and showed me the exact steps I needed to take. And it's funny because people always say, but you've been selling for a long time. And here's a little secret. There's more to running a business than selling.
Right.
Don't tell the salesperson in me that I said that, but you got to be able to do a whole lot more than just sell.
Right.
I couldn't do any of it. And so Jenny Shih, and it was funny because it's not funny. It's ironic. I was reading a testimonial that I wrote from you in 2013. And it talked about how you changed my life. You changed my business. You changed my existence at home. You changed my existence with my husband, with my daughter, with my confidence in myself, to be able to look in the bank account and say, oh, wait, I did this.
I did that. Yeah.
We could take a Disney cruise because I did that. Right. And so, Jenny,
awesome. Isn't that awesome? Like,
amazing.
It's awesome. It's the best.
So you've got this kick-ass free training coming out. When does it release? It's coming up soon.
Well, we are kind of in the midst of it. The first video lesson is on Tuesday the 16th, but we're already talking and coaching and people are getting clients, and Yeah, it's amazing already. We haven't even started the first lesson. I mean, we've been doing pre-lessons, but yeah, crazy.
So you can show us. So walk me through sort of the logistics of this. You can register for the free training. Again, it's freebie Friday, y'all. I'm not selling you jack. It's freebie up in here, up in here. Yeah. So you can register for the free training, and then you can also join a free Facebook group where you can get coached by you now, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull a listen to the redhead. Listen to the redhead. If your business is not where you want it to be for whatever reason, do yourself a favor and sign up for this free training. It's free. So you can't use that excuse, which I don't believe in. It costs too much. And if your business is where you don't, if your business isn't where you want it to be and you're saying, I don't have time, then you're prioritizing the wrong things.
Yeah. That goes back to the very first thing we talked about, which was, do you really want a successful business? Like, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to make that happen?
And it's okay if you don't, right? Like, it's totally okay. We said that at the top of the hour, but you have no excuse because this is totally free. She's coaching in the Facebook group. People are getting clients. She's got videos dropping. I love to use the word dropping. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. She's got videos dropping that are going to take you through what? So who is the ideal person for this free training, Jenny?
It is man or woman, though. I just want to warn all the men out there. It's like 99% women, but you are so welcome in there. And by the way, I used to be an engineer working with men in high-tech R&D. So I love working with men. I just seem to attract mostly women. But anyway, men or women who run online service-based businesses or want to run an online service-based business. You want to work one-on-one with clients because you know that working one-on-one is the fastest way to make the most amount of money in your business. That whole idea of multiple streams of income and leverage income is a bunch of crap until you get experience, build a list, and know how to market. And I could talk about that for an hour. So you want to build a one-on-one service-based business, and you need some steps. You need to know how to get clients. You need to know how to talk about what you do. You need to know how to craft your offers. You need to know how to spend your time and where to put your energy. And we are going to clear all of that up for you. You're going to learn how to get clients and create consistent income on a schedule you set, so you can pick your kids up from school, so you can travel. Like, I am not about working yourself to the bone. It's all about doing this in a smart, strategic way. Yeah.
So good. So good. So good. We're going to give away the Danielle LaPorte book in just a minute, but there are just a couple of other, if you still got time. Tweet at Kendrick Shope. Give me the freebies.
I want to tweet. I think I want to tweet.
All right, you tweet, Jenny. We'll give. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have commercials yet. We tried commercials day one. It was a disaster. So the executive producers got together, me, myself, and I, and said, "This is too much."
Yeah, so, too much.
Jenny, one of the things that really stands out to me and throughout this whole conversation is your talk of raising the bar and what you're role modeling here, because you're raising the bar for free.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is free training. There's so much time and effort that goes into a Facebook group and coaching people. I know I do it. There's so much time and effort that goes into creating a videos training series that actually works. That's not just all smoke and mirrors. And I can assure you, if Jenny Shih's name on it, Jenny Shih's name is on it, it works. So I love that the way that you have chosen to raise the bar. One of the words, our themes at the Kendrick Shope Show for the year is radically generous. And we got that from the Danielle LaPorte book and from my conversation with Danielle. But I mean, I think that you embody that in everything you do. You were just so radically generous. So thank you for raising the bar in the right places for the rest of us.
Yeah.
If you want to sign up, and again, listen to the redhead. When you are signing up for Jenny Shih's free training, I'll post the link on Facebook, but it's just a bit.ly link, bit.ly/Jenny Shih free, Jenny Shih free, bit.ly, bit.ly, bit.ly. Is that / or /? Whatever that, that / Jenny Shih free. And I will post it right here in the Facebook on the link for this show when we are done. So what should happen now, but I'm not even going to try, is the music should cue. I got the magic stick.
You should have told me. I could have pulled it up on my phone and played it. Nobody would have been surprised.
I got the magic stick. The magic stick today on Freebie Friday. It is your lucky day because there are two. Number one is you get to learn from Jenny Shih for free. do it now. That's for everybody. And then we're going to give away a copy of Danielle Laporte's book. Oh yeah. Let's go to Twitter. I had Twitter pulled up, but now I slammed it shut because technology. I got the magic stick. All right, here we go. So Marva Ghost. I always mess that up. Marva, I love you. God, Marva is so freaking beautiful, by the way. She is a copywriter. She came through one of the upper level selling courses. She does so many things, but when she asks questions, I'm just like, God, you're so pretty. Wait, what was that? She's gorgeous. Everybody's gorgeous. She's got this look about her. So Marva, you win a copy of Danielle Laporte's latest book. The way to claim that is to, number one, tweet at Kendrick Shope. I won a free copy.
Can I just tweet I won?
No, Jenny Shih. You're beautiful too, though. You are beautiful. And then email me. Just email me. You've got my email address, Kendrick@kendrickshope.com. And I will send you one over to Brittany, who will get your mailing address so we can get you a copy of that book. It might even be signed. I can't remember.
Woo! Awesome, Marva. Go Marva.
Way to go, Marva. You got magic stick on Freebie Friday. So I need to take the energy down. Cue low key music. Jenny, we end the show, and I would love to invite you to play if you want to play. We end the show with sharing a step towards a dream, a vision, something that you're working towards in 2018, and then kind of like we do at the top of the show, where we commiserate over mommy epic fail moments. At the close of the show, there is something to be said for just speaking your truth and saying, this is what I want, and this is the step I'm taking towards it today. So yesterday, my step of the day, which y'all aren't sharing your steps of the day, by the way. You're supposed to be tweeting those, hitting me up on Instagram. But my step of the day was I promised to go live on Instagram 5 times a day. Foreman challenged us those 15-second whatever Insta stories. So I've done 2 today, got 3 more to do. And so my step of the day today was, it's a different one. I went to yoga. Now, you might say, what the heck does that have to do with getting your own talk show? But for anybody who knows me, I am usually a slave to this computer. I don't leave it. I don't have a work ethic issue on the low side. I have it on the other side. And so going to yoga is, I believe, I am trusting. I see Steve Harvey every day talking about going to the gym so he can do his 7 talk shows a day. I just want one, universe, just one talk show. And I'm going to go to the gym so I can stay healthy, strong, and ready to do it. That is my step of the day. Tweet me yours at kendrickshope.com. Jenny, you got a step or a dream or a vision you want to share with us?
Can I do 2? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So
Jenny.
So one is my goal, and this is a really big stretch goal, is to help 10,000 people with this free training in January. And I don't know if we're going to get there, but part of me taking a step is talking to you today, because you know people and reach people that I don't know. And the more I can spread the word about what I'm doing through awesome people like you, the more I'm able to try to work towards that goal of 10,000 people. And the other one, if this is okay, hold on. I'm going to actually walk for a second. So one of my goals, one of the things we have done in 2014, 2015, and 2016 was get away at first it was 4 weeks, and then it was 5 and 6 and 8 weeks to get away from Oregon, which is so dreary in the winter, and go to someplace sunny. And we didn't make it for various reasons in 2017. And by the middle of February, I was miserable. And I said, we are not letting that happen again. So we are a week into our rental house in California, and I got to show you this view. So although this is something I already worked towards, this is what
I love it. I love that Jenny's taking us and showing us the view.
It's foggy. Oh, it's foggy. The fog rolled in.
That's all right. It's -3 wind chill here today. So I need some California sun. California love. Oh, look. Wait, just listen, y'all.
There you go.
Oh my God, do you hear the ocean? It's so awesome. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for sharing that with all of us. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, all right. So that is, let's see. So Marva, you know what to do to claim your freebie, and it is that time. And you know what? I don't think the outro I don't know if the outro is going to work, but we're going to try it here. Thank you for being part of the Kendrick Shope Show today. It is my pleasure to have you here, Jenny. Thank you so much. bit.ly/Jenny Shih free. I will post it as soon as this is over. We love you. I believe in you. I believe in your business. You can do this. Let's go. I got it sort of. Bye, y'all. Have a fabulous day.